Very warm welcome to the fifth episode of this new series, Prophecies from the Holy Bible. This is Thursday's session on 14th of August 2025 from India. Very warm welcome and Jai Gurudev to everyone. I begin with a quote from Guru Siyag in his book, which says he is making some reference about what people think about God. Experiencing God is a very different matter altogether. However, he says the present day youths, those from the West in particular, normally hold the notion that it is only the cowards and the weak who are taking recourse to unsuccessfully seek help from the power that they call God. So with this note, I begin this session requesting at the lotus feet of Guru Siyag to allow me to read the content and talk about what Guru Siyag Yoga is. This is Guru Siyag delivering a speech about what Guru Siyag Yoga is. I welcome another participant today. Her name is Hem Prabha. Very warm welcome, Hem Prabha, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so
If you
much,
wish to say something, you can.
Jai Gurudev, Guru Bhai, and Jai Gurudev to all the viewers who are watching me. So, I also welcome you all in this session, and Jai Gurudev.
Thank you. So we request Guru Siyag to allow us to speak about what Guru Siyag Yoga is. Let me take this opportunity to thank her as well as all the viewers who are watching and will be watching in the future. This is a very unique meditation, a very different meditation coming from the Vedic philosophy. It is entirely based on a very true and practical philosophy, which is called the Bharatiya Yoga Darshan or Patanjali Yoga Darshan, and the Ved plus Vedanta. All this is coming in two aspects as a process of meditation. One is a divine mantra given by Guru Siyag. This is a 3-word mantra. One must chant that mantra all the time. And that should be chanted only mentally, not by mouth. Without moving tongue and lips, one should keep on chanting that mantra. That will awaken the Kundalini, which is the mother force in every human being, irrespective of whichever faith they follow. So this is one has to do unless that mantra become automatic and we keep on chanting. It becomes, once it has become involuntary in your mind, then you are free from remembering that you have to chant the mantra. The second thing Gurudev Siyag had suggested, meditating on his picture, looking at his picture for a minute and closing your eyes, sitting in a relaxed position and focusing here on the third eye area and requesting with the closed eyes to Guru Siyag's picture to keep you in meditation for 15 minutes. And then start chanting that mantra, a divine mantra of 3 words. It's a amalgamation of feminine and masculine force, and that is the crux of the salvation or moksha. Moksha is the concept given by the Vedic philosophy, and moksha is practically possible, and it is only possible if we experience God. So coming back to the statement made by Guru Siyag in the thumbnail or in the book mentioned by him, the present day youths, those from the West in particular, normally hold a notion that it is only the coward and the weak who are taking recourse to unsuccessfully seek help from the power that they call God. And Gurudev Siyag had mentioned always that I have set out alone in the world to work amongst the large humanity for progress and predominance of sattva guna, the positive tendencies, over all others, and to destroy completely all tamasic tendencies. No particular caste, religion, or country lay any special claim on me, Chaudhry Ramlal Siyag, that's Guru Siyag. So with this note, we start reading the next part of the introduction by Guru Siyag, Prophecies from the Holy Bible, which was written in 1997 in Hindi, and it got translated into English. So you may find that English is not as attuned as Hindi is. However, this audience which is not knowing Hindi or the regional languages of India, will benefit from these readings. And I will invite later on to Hemprabha to share her experiences about what Gurudev Siyag preaches and whether it is possible or practical or not. So be here, Hemprabha, and thank you so much for being a good listener here as well. So I request Guru Siyag to allow me to read this part of the next session. Guru says about the hazardous conditions that would prevail, that would be prevailing at the time we have these prophetic assertions. There should be great tribulations, than kind of which had neither been there since the beginning of the world to the present time, and nor shall they be there even again. No life would be saved unless the days are shortened, and shortened they would be for his chosen ones. Idea about the terrible pain that the humanity would suffer in those days can be had from these lines from the Holy Bible. People in those days will search for death, but find her they will not. They will yearn for dying, but death would run away from them. It needs to hardly be said what great terror does the above description from the Bible strikes in the hearts of the people. A careful look at the real condition of the followers of the Holy Bible will give an idea that the time of destruction is not far off now. How cleverly have all happenings in religious places been concealed under a veil. God's people are sinners. If you expect to find perfect or almost perfect people amongst them, you simply will be disappointed. This is the state of the world generally, and it is so because of the proprieties properties of Kali Yuga, age of falsehood. I wish to say this much only, that God, by his gracious fervor, bless all righteous persons with positive ideas that world over with virtuous intelligence, as those with negative ideas have neither even reformed themselves nor shall they ever improve. Ravana, Kansa, Duryodhana, and many others are the examples that we have come across in all respective ages. So that was the introduction part. Now we move to the chapter 1, and the title of the chapter first is Prophecies from the Holy Bible. Gurudev Siyag says the youth of all the nations of the present era are disappointed and disillusioned with the ideals of all the religious preceptors, sadhus, etc., like monks and anchorites, and saints belonging to the domain of spiritualism, as all these religious heads of all the religions consider singing praises of the past as means all and all. The process of downfall of religions began with the swift advancement in physical science. The community of the religious teachers, therefore, in their efforts to protect their prestige, had drawn an imaginary divide line all over the globe between themselves on one side and the physical scientists on the other. Harder they tried to preserve their status by presenting themselves as the true theists and branding the truthful physical scientists as atheists, quickly did the faith of the people in religion started dwindling. As the physical science directly give concrete results, people all over the world have started getting rapidly attracted towards them. The present day youths, those from the West in particular, normally hold a notion that it is only the cowards and the weak who are taking recourse to unsuccessfully seek help from the power that they call God. Thus, the gulf between the spiritual and physical science has kept widening continually. Spiritual science, in fact, is the originator of the physical science. But the irreconcilable conflict between these two is the cause of present day unrest in the world, where peace will not be possible unless spiritual science begins exercising control over the conduction of activities of physical science. So that was the part of introduction as well as the first chapter. I quickly take you through what Gurudev is trying to say in all these slides. And then we will have a brief discussion and practically we'll see whether what Gurudev Siyag is saying makes sense to all of us or not. Gurudev is mentioning about the current situation. However, this book was written in 1997, but the current situation, even after almost 38 years or 28 years, seems that we are sitting at the edge of World War III. If you look back, all these prophetic assertions made in the Holy Bible, that the days which are mentioned in that book, we are expecting such days to come, which never happened before, neither will it happen in the future. So this is a sort of alarming situation for everyone. And even though people are practicing a lot of religious methods of praising, praying, or seeking something from God, however, God is not listening. Whether these practices are effective enough, this is what Gurudev Siyag is trying to tell us. Is there any method whereby we can directly talk to God as we talk to each other nowadays? The gruesome situation which is mentioned in the Holy Bible is that no life would have been saved unless the days are shortened. This is specifically mentioned in Bible, that just for the sake of the chosen ones, he had reduced those bad days. Otherwise, no one would survive even. Why the God has accepted the request or have done this for the chosen ones? That makes sense. And this is very deep. We cannot understand merely by reading it. Unless we are blessed by an enlightened guru, we cannot even imagine what it means. What I understood so far, I may be completely wrong. However, it looks like that the chosen ones are selected to spread the message of God, to spread the message of the kingdom of God, right? And how that would look like, how you can, reach there, and you can be a part of that. Chosen ones will be doing this work, and that's why the days of pain have been reduced. And even whatever is going to happen, this is explained. People in those days would search for death, look for death, but they will not die because the death would run away from them. That's a very terrible situation. Question is, people who are believers of the Holy Bible and Jesus are part of this unrest as well. This is what Gurudev is trying to tell. That look at their mentality. At one stage, they are saying that God is love and God's message is love. And what they are doing, they are fighting in the name of religion. So this is what is happening, and this may be one of the reasons for the Third World War. So if we have this kind of mentality and we are just saying that Jesus is God, whereas he was Son of God, and he spread the message of love and peace in the entire world. Now, why there is no peace? Look at their condition and their mentality and what's going on in their mind. Are they filled with Sattva Guna or they are filled with Tamoguna? This is a question for everyone. And in a context, Gurudev has said that all these religious places, which are mostly corrupt, and their sin have been hidden, concealed very beautifully, skillfully, saying that God's home is made of sinners. Jesus or Bible says believers of Christianity say that Jesus was crucified for our sins. We are sinners. Whereas there is another perception given by Gurudev that you are not sinner. You are actually God. And while I will read more content later on, you will find out. And in the last episode, I had played a video where Gurudev had quoted something and gave this content for the practitioner to read, in which, Isa says, ye are gods. You all are God. So anyway, there's a discrepancy here between what is written and what people conceive as a thought and what they practice. All these three things are separate altogether. But Gurudev says that it's not because people are applying their own mind that way, but this is an influence of the state of age of falsehood. We call it Kali Yuga. The mind, body, brain, and breath have been hacked or controlled by all these negative tendencies or negative spirits, so to speak. So we are not able to figure out what the truth is. Gurudev Siyag is trying to reveal that truth and is telling a very practical and provable method to experience God. So this is what Gurudev is also praying, that only positive people who are having this idea about God or think that God exists, he is inviting to all those. However, he is saying that people with negative tendencies, there are many names in India, at least in mythological scriptures, there's a Ravana, Kans, Duryodhana, etc., and many others. They will never ever improve. So their end will be done by the sword of Kalki, as Gurudev Siyag is considered as the Kalki avatar. In the first chapter, Gurudev is trying to concentrate on the notion that why people are so disappointed or disillusioned by the so-called religions prevailing, and why these preceptors, we call it, Diksha, gurus, why people are disillusioned with all these. As these preachers, even in India also, and Hem Prabha would agree with me, that all these preachers, especially in India, they all are saying that, what Ram did, what Krishna did, what Buddha did, what Mahavir did, what Jesus did, and what Prophet did. They all are telling us to look backward, whereas we are moving forward. The spinning cycle of the time is irreversible and it will continue to move ahead. So we are moving ahead and we are told to look back. So we are bound to face some roadblocks and we hurt ourselves. So that may be one of the reasons of disillusionment from all these preceptors all across the world, not in India only. The process of downfall of all religions began because science, physical science, had swiftly did some advancements and started delivering results. Now, all these preachers or preceptors, so to speak, or monks or sadhus, whatever we call it, or gurus, India is full of gurus. Who is the real guru is a question mark. However, everyone is trying to create a divide line. No, this is physical science, this is spiritual science. But Gurudev Siyag is trying to assert here and will give a proof that the physical science is the child of spiritual science. Whatever physical science have learned is actually taught by the spiritual science. Unless that connection remains and the control of spiritual science remains over physical science, peace remains a dream. In Western world, Gurudev used to say that they say science is God. And Gurudev says, no, you're wrong. God is science. Because God had created all of us. And then we created this science. We learned this science. So science is a method. Science is, itself is not God. However, the advancement in science is remarkable for sure. And that is creating some trouble for these preceptors, particularly and religious people. So they are creating imaginary divide line all over the globes between spiritual science and the physical science and other sciences. More they will try, more they will disillusion people who are so far practicing or following. As science is giving direct results, so people are more attracted towards physical science or science. As we are speaking, the microphone works here. As we are speaking, the studio is a gift of science, technology. It works. And if we give command, it stops. So this is a result-driven science. And people are living science, living in science, living with science, living for science, in a way. And that's why people in the West, particularly the youth in the West, believes God, oh, only coward and weak people follow that. And they are unsuccessfully seeking help from the power that they call God. This is a kind of joke people generally say about God or believers of God. And many people in the Western world, Gurudev says, he met many Westerners. He traveled thrice to USA and once to Israel. And many Westerners say that, Gurudev, we are not afraid of this God, but what we are afraid of, this addiction of heroin, smack, and all these, things which are trying to kill us. Is there any recourse? Is there any precaution? Is there any, safety or security from these? And Gurudev says, yes, there is. So we'll be talking about that in next episode. But the gulf between spiritual and physical science is continuously widening. However, Gurudev believes that the spiritual science is the father of physical science and other sciences. Irreconcilable conflict between these two is the reason for unrest in the world. And in simplest terms, if I understand correctly, science has grown immensely and it had reached to its highest potential. However, peace still did not prevail. So, who is stopping that peace? Because science and technology have been used for the destruction. All these arms and ammunitions, missiles, fighter jets, all these have been the invention of science. But for what purpose they have been created? For peace. And it's a kind of, compromised peace, conditioned peace. It's a kind of silence which will erupt as a volcano. And that will become the reason for Third World War, for sure. So unless science comes under the control of spiritual science, decisions will be taken against humanity, against experiencing God. So this is what it is. And now I welcome Hem Prabha. She is a practitioner here, and she will share her experiences. How did she join Guru Siyag Yoga? Over to you, Hem Prabha.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev to all the viewers. Uh, I heard somewhere that Gurudev was saying that it's not that the person or the individual is finding the guru. It's the guru who finds his disciple. So the same thing happened with me. So my husband was looking for guru, and I was not interested at all. So I was just living my ordinary life, doing all the work and everything. And so my husband was looking for a guru, and so being his wife, I was also okay going with him and watching videos and everything. So we, he looked videos, he watched videos on the YouTube, and even we followed many gurus also, but uh, he was not means like we were not connected. So one day he was scrolling Quora and Quora app, and there he just there was one question that who is a real guru, and so when uh, he went to find that answer. So he there was written that you just try this Guru Siddhi Yoga, Ramlalji Siyag Siddhi Yoga, and then you will find the answer. So my husband, so he started meditating and practicing this yoga, and he took the initiation from the YouTube videos. And I don't know anything about it. He kept it with himself only. And after a few days, he came to me and he said, "Okay, if I am meditating and if anything is happening, so please don't get worried, because he has already watched so many videos where people were doing there were yogic kriyas happening with them. So my husband thought that if he will be experiencing those yogic kriyas, and if I would go in the room and if I will find him doing these, so maybe I will get worried that what is happening here. So he told me that don't get worried. So that is part of yoga. I said, okay. And then, okay, so now I was curious that what would happen. So I would go and check. He was meditating and nothing was happening. So few days passed, but my husband did it wholeheartedly. He was doing meditation 2 times a day and was chanting the mantra. So what happened? I think there was this positivity in the house that I also became curious. And one day, like we all were sleeping, my husband. So I at about 1 or 2 o'clock in the night, I just woke him up. I said, "Tell me this mantra." And he shared videos with me. He said, "I cannot say mantra, but you can watch these videos and you will get the initiation." Okay, so next day I watched those videos, and I felt something positive about that. So I started doing meditation twice a day, but I was not chanting mantra because uh, being working women and with all the household things. So sometimes we say that we don't get time. Now I realized that it's not that you have to take out time for this chanting of mantra. You can do chanting whenever you are, doing even the household work also. Even if you are moving, if you are traveling, if you are going out. So there is a lot of time where you can chant mantra. So slowly, it became, okay. And sometimes also I was doing meditation only in the evening, not in the morning. But as the days passed, then I started feeling like, okay, I should also meditate in the morning also. And at the time when I was waking up, I just started waking up 20 minutes prior, and then I started meditating in the morning also. And there, since then, there has been so many changes in our life, so many changes in me, in my family, both physically, mentally, and yes, I would say financially also. Guruji is taking care of everything.
Very good. So, what you mentioned, probably people are not aware of it, that just by looking at Gurudev's picture and meditating, even without having the mantra, your Kundalini will be awakened during the meditation. And that awakened Kundalini takes control of your body, brain, breath, and mind. And we experience those involuntary movements which we cannot even initiate or we cannot even stop. So did you also experience the same?
Yes. So when I started meditating, so after I think 3 or 4 days, my head was like there were movements like this, and because I have thyroid, and since the vibrations in my in my whole body, they started, and so my husband was waiting for all these yogic kriyas for himself. He was waiting for that, but it happened to me. So once he was discouraged that nothing is happening to me, but when he saw that there are some changes that I am experiencing these yogic kriyas, even other family members were also experiencing. So he said, okay, it's okay. Means like there are some, like you say, prarabdha karmas, like past karmas. So my husband is not experiencing them. It will take time, but yes, it will certainly do. Like now, my husband has started experiencing those yogic kriyas. So we can say that it will take time. Like for some people, it will start on day one. For some, like for me, it started 3 or 4 days later, and it depends on your past karmas. But if you request Gurudev wholeheartedly, like now, even if I just stand in front of Gurudev's picture, and if I say something, Guruji, I want this, Guruji, please, what will happen? So Guruji gives answer instantly. Means I don't have to wait for something. So there are changes in my life. I would say that Guruji is always taking care of me, even for the smallest thing. Even if I want to eat something, I haven't told anyone. So Guruji will somehow I will get that thing. That's the way
Wonderful.
thing.
Wonderful. I remember one of your experiences, which you shared with me over phone, about your car driving experience, and your son is also connected to Gurudev Siyag through this meditation. So would you like to share that experience? I will be very happy to hear that.
Yes, actually, my son, my I have two sons, and both are also practicing. Both are doing they said yoga, and my younger son, so Gurudev talks to him, and Gurudev guides him every time. So what happened that I started driving, learning driving, and for 1 month, and then the trainer said that now you have to practice in your practice by yourself. So I told my husband, now that trainer is saying that you have to start driving now. So I told my husband that let's try it from tomorrow onwards. So but my husband said, okay, only if Gurudev ji will allow, only then we can start. I said, okay. So we asked Gurudev, can I start driving from tomorrow? Gurudev said no. So I thought, chalo, theek hai, let's do it after 1 week. Let's practice for one more week with the trainer, and then I'll start again. So after 1 week, I again asked Guruji, can I now start driving? Can I take my car for that for learning more? Guruji then again he refused. I was like, like small kids, they get angry with their parents if their wishes are not fulfilled. So I just lie down on sofa and I looked at Gurudev's photo, and the Gurudev, why are not allowing me? So I was just looking at the photo, then I was lying right, then I was laying my head down. Again, I was looking at the photo. I was Sometimes it happens that is the love between me and my guru, that you can get that you can show your tantrum also to guru. So my son was in another room. He didn't know what was happening. So he came running to me. He said, Mama, Gurudev ji is saying that he is stopping you because there is some problem with the gear of the car. And as he said these words, I just looked at my husband, and we were surprised because this thing only my husband and I knew these things, and children were unaware of that. And suddenly, I just got up from my seat, and then I folded my hand in front of Guru. Sorry, Guruji. Now from now onwards, I will not. I will only do whatever you will say, or that whatever you will guide. Now I would never show these tensions again. But we are children. So whenever I am in front of Guru, I don't think that I'm a woman. I have two kids. I'm 40 plus. I just behave like a small child. I just behave like a small kid who wants everything from their father, who wants everything from their parents. And Guruji is always taking care of all the things for me. And even the wishes that are in deep down in my heart. Like I will give one more example. I want, like, this time monsoon is there, so I wanted to wanted to go in the showers in the rain, but I didn't go. I didn't get a chance. So what happened, one day me and my husband were going out, and the weather was fine, but when we were returning home, and it was raining, and we drenched, and I was so happy. I told my husband, see, I wanted to experience this, because and now see Gurudev had given a chance to me, so he, and intentionally or unintentionally, whatever you want to do, so Gurudev always give you a chance. I was so happy that day. I wish it full.
Very nice. So, when Gurudev quotes about the youth, particularly the Western youth, who thinks that there is no God per se, and people are unsuccessfully trying to seek help and recourse from the God. So, do you think the youth in West is not aware whether we can have experience of God, and we are not weaker or coward people?
No, no, we are not weaker or coward, but I think that we are powerful than them because we have Guru by our side. I know if I go now, if now I, Guru Bhai, I was always afraid of going out during nights or whenever I was alone. I would feel scared so much. But now, with the blessings of Guruji, I can say that now I am fearless. I can go anywhere, I can do anything, and Gurudev ji has given me so much courage that I can do anything.
Wonderful. So this statement does not hold true for the Westerners that, God, the so called God, does not exist. God does
No,
exist, and
God does
we
it.
can experience God. This is, Gurudev is trying to help us, to teach us that it is very simple to experience God. A very, very simple method. And unbelievably, it works for everyone, irrespective of their faith, their gender, their nationality, their, place, their community. Just we, all human beings are same. Our structure of the body is same. And every human body has that inner energy in a dormant position, which is called Kundalini. And everyone can experience that. I remember when I got to know about Guru Siyag Yoga or about Gurudev Siyag from my professor. He talked for almost 3 hours, and I kept on listening to him. He did not tell me the mantra. He didn't have the picture of Gurudev. Only these two things are needed. And when I left his home after 3 hour conversation, I was completely filled with the bliss, the state of Anand, we call it. However, in that state of bliss, I forgot the name of Gurudev. So I could not search, and it was Sunday. And my professor had this notion that Gurudev used to tell the mantra on Thursdays. So I will tell you on Thursday. You can call me on Thursday. I'm going back to Bikaner now. He was in Jaipur that day. So when I left his home, it was very difficult for me to survive for 4 days without Guru because I forgot his name. But what was going on in my mind, and some shift had happened or some transformation has happened in me, which I have mentioned in many of these, videos of my own experiences and experiences of others. So that is very interesting phenomenon, and anyone can be a god. This is a shift from the Christian philosophy or Christian religious faith or belief that we are sinners. Gurudev is quoting the statement from the, the book called Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says that, just due to past life karmic relations, you are working like this and that. You are, offensor or defensor, whatever you call it. However, at the end, Lord Krishna says that you all are God. So the same thing have been narrated in the Holy Bible, where a statement is made by Isa. We in Hindi we call it Yashaya. So he says that ye are gods. All people are gods. And it is also mentioned that I will be, what temples have to do with God? These people are the living or active temple or mobile temple of God. I will be living in them. They will be my people. I will be having supper with them. So all that is mentioned in Holy Bible, but people are not able to figure out, and there is a reason behind it, that unless a true preceptor or true enlightened guru bliss blesses you with the fifth layer of bliss, and the sixth one is becoming and being, the seventh one is being. So Sachidanand is a state, is not the name of God. If we attain that state of Sachidanand, then we become God. So we all have the potential to be God. And all these diseases which people have in the name of diseases, for example, AIDS or cancer or hemophilia or thrombocytopenia or any genetic disorder, all these actually can vanish. So coming back to you and asking you a question, did you also have any physical disease or mental disease or illness which you think it got cured?
Yes, I was suffering from thyroid, and apart from thyroid, I was also having backache problems, cervical, and there were many diseases. So even I don't remember. But with this practice of yoga, I there were yogic kriyas which helped me heal these diseases. And Guru Bhai, like in some videos, Gurudev said that you can, if you like, sometimes you can take the like in some videos, Guruji has never said don't take medicine. He said okay, like if you are taking medicines and you are doing these practices, then also it's okay. But what happened with me? So I was taking I was like on medications since I think 10 or 12 years. I know more. It's more. So for 15 years, I had those medication for thyroid, and so when I joined the Siddha Yoga, so what happened that every morning when when I was having medicine, so my medicine box was there in the kitchen at one usual place. So one day I went there and when I was having my medicine, so I didn't find that bottle. So I looked for it everywhere. So I couldn't find it. Then okay, so so that day medicine was it was skipped. The next day again I tried to find that bottle. So the bottle was lost for 4 or 5 or 7 days. I think for 1 week the bottle was not there. Then I understood that Guruji he doesn't want me to have that medicine. So I stopped it. And after I think after 10 days I got that bottle back and it was there only. I was looking every day. So then I just threw that bottle in the dustbin. I said, I don't need you. My Guruji will cure me. So since then, I haven't taken any medicine, and for 2 years, no side effect, nothing. And apart from that, I was also having backache problem. I was having cervical. Now, being in a teaching profession, mostly teachers are suffering from cervical because you have to sometimes stand for long hours, and for checking you have your body posture is not correct. So I was suffering from that, and during those yogic kriyas, I no that Kundalini Shakti, it made you do those exercises that you won't even believe. So yes, slowly and steadily, I got rid of all those these diseases. And I will discuss for my son also. My son, his eyesight was 2.5, but in these 2 years now it is 1.5 only, and that's a great achievement.
Wow. I got a similar experience coming, one of the practitioner come here is a boy, like, in grade 9 or 10, must be 13, 14 years of age. He also said that he had these eyesights, weaker eyesights, and he had glasses. Cylindrical power was applied. So now cylindrical power is removed from those glasses, and he is much better now. Without medicine, it is happening. So it doesn't look like less than a miracle. However, I was listening to Gurudev's speech last night that was delivered on 4th of May 2006, where he mentioned that, Western world believes that it's a wonder therapy. And Hindustan Times Jaipur edition had published a news saying that, it's a miracle that AIDS is cured or cancer is cured. So Gurudev is, actually countering that argument, saying that it's neither a miracle or nor a wonder therapy. It simply is a development due and in every human being. We are, if we believe in the theory of evolution suggests that we were monkeys or something like that in the past. But now we have evolved to a state of being fully complete. And I remember one of these speeches, Gurudev mentioned that some documentary was made on him, and he was saying that the moment human being is complete, he is God. So the cameraman actually froze that camera, stopped that camera. He said, "What Guruji is saying?" So Guruji said, "You don't know, continue recording it. You will know." So this is, why we are talking about this, because Gurudev wants us to speak about this. And it's very interesting to have these such, experiences from the medical side of it. People should be doing research that what exactly creates the cancer. And if there is a cure, then why not all people are being cured or saved? AIDS has no cure so far. Once a person becomes HIV positive, he or she cannot become HIV negative. They may have different criteria of, viral load. HIV viral load goes below 50. That's one criteria. And absolute CD4 count or CD8 count goes above 300. But these are kind of outdated criteria nowadays. But there is antigen test or ELISA test, and no one can become negative from if the person is positive in the beginning. Now we are having such reports of practitioners of Guru Siyag who had HIV positive, and his report, the antigen report says, the ELISA test report says that he is negative. So this is, for the Western world or for the rest of the world, is a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It's going to happen in every human being, because God will remain in all of us, and the energy of God, which is Kundalini, will be awakened in every human being. If not today, by tomorrow it will be. So let's go to the mantra, the initiation mantra given by Gurudev Siyag, and I'll play that video for everyone. And you just need to keep on chanting that mantra all the time. That's it. And keep on doing meditation twice a day for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. That's it. And no need to spare any single penny on getting initiated or doing this meditation. You and your God are in the same body.
What does yoga mean? Yoga means a union of the soul with God or the universal consciousness force. What are the benefits of Siddhi Yoga? Siddhi Yoga heals, cures, or frees the body from any physical illness, adds various forms of cancers, diabetes, arthritis, asthma, and even genetic disease like hemophilia. In the case of disease such as AIDS, which attacks the entire body, the patient may experience internal kriyas like sensation or heat, electricity or tingling. According to Siddhi Yoga philosophy, the divine power awakened by the enlightened Guru gets transmitted through his blissful voice to the listeners, irrespective of language spoken by the Guru. This divine power transmissions occurs smoothly and remain unaffected by the language being used. Regular practice of Siddhi Yoga strengthens the immune system, The Kundalini acts as a protective shield of the immune system and wards off the onslaught or recurrence of any disease. Impact of Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini makes the practitioner perform kriyas that are specific to his needs. With this cleaning, the practitioner is cured of all kinds of chronic and even terminal disease such as HIV, AIDS, cancer, arthritis, etc. and genetic disorder like hemophilia. Mental application too are completely cured and stress is completely relieved. Cling, Krishna, cling, 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 cling, Krishna, cling.
So that's the mantra description in Hindi and English. That's the mantra we must keep on chanting round the clock. It will become involuntary in your mind after a while. So these are the details if you wish to know more about it. And this is the picture. You can just copy it, screenshot. Just by looking at this picture and sitting for meditation will awaken your Kundalini and you will experience involuntary movement if you have any disease, physical, mental, or spiritual. So we surrender at the lotus feet of Guru Siyag, and I thank him, Prabha Guru Ben, for sparing precious time, taking leave from our work today. But it was Gurudev's order. So thanking you so much, Guru Ben, and be in touch, and we may invite you next time as well. Thank you, and Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. We surrender at the lotus feet of Guru Siyag, and we submit this video as we have taken it from his lotus feet, and we are returning it back without any doer reality. We all are the viewers, not the doers. All belongs to Gurudev, and Gurudev is God. You will experience, if not today, by tomorrow, for sure. Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.